Hi guys, John from Advanced Detail here to talk to you a little bit about lighting, and going to be using this Porsche Macan you see behind as a demo vehicle to demo some new Scangrip lighting we just have bought from cleanyourcar.co.uk last Friday. Now lighting and detailers, it's a very important subject, as you'll probably be aware, and there's been so many advances in recent years with LED technology. When I was starting out, it was all halogen lights, and used to use the twin halogens. So you had 1,000 watts of pulsating light on a panel, and in the middle of summer it used to bake it quite well. Then everybody started going over to the metal halide lights, which were very good, much lower power, but a cleaner source of light, as in a higher colour temperature. These were very good, these from a few years ago, and then LED technology's moved on so much now that we're starting to see LED fixtures and LED lighting, specifically the Scangrip, that is actually designed for detailers in mind, that are exceptionally low power, but have an excellent swirl spotting or mark spotting ability on the paintwork. Now I'm just going to run you through the evolution of our lighting in this studio. Obviously we started out with the halogens many moons ago, and then moved on to the metal halides, which we still have in situ, we just don't use very often at all. Those are 6,000K bulbs in the metal halide. Then we moved more recently onto the LEDs that you see up there that are on now. Those are 6,500K, 50 watts, although they have lost a bit of oomph over the time, because they have served about 3 years in here, and LEDs do tend to lose power. So that brings me neatly on to this selection we have here. Now these are cheap work lights, and we've been experimenting with these for quite some time now. These are actually really good, but we found a round source of light is a lot better for spotting swirls. So on the LEDs you see up here, they have actually a square LED. You can't really see until the camera adjusts, but they have a square LED and also a reflector. Now we've also found the reflector is detrimental to swirl spotting as well, because it spreads the light too much, and you don't want that. You want an intense spot of light, so you're replicating sunlight. So that's the kind of reflection you get on a panel with the reflector in situ. Now if I just show you this little work light here, these are only about 20 watts. But you get a purer, cleaner source of light without the reflector, and that makes it a lot easier. There we go, to spot the swirls. So that's what we've been using. Nice and cheap. I think they're about £20 each of those. And they last for ages. Now then, I have actually been known to criticise Scangrip. When they first came out, I thought it was a bit of a fad, and sat there and thought, well, these Scangrip lights are probably 10 times, 15 times more expensive than your average LED fixture that we have in situ here, which was about £20. How good are they? If I'm paying nearly £300 a light, you'd expect them to be 300 times better, or relative to the cost. They're not. I make no bones about it, they're not. However, if you're wanting that extra 10% that these lights show, then they are for you. And I think any detailer that is pushing for absolute perfection and perfect paint when they're correcting a panel will want that, and will find that useful, having that extra 10%. The lighting we've been using is very, very good in this unit, and has been good for several years now since we swapped to LED. However, these things are a game changer. Before we get onto the Scangrip stuff, I want to show you some of the other stuff we've experimented with. These Sealy lights, absolutely fantastic. Now these are the high CRI output Sealy lights, so they're very, very similar to Scangrip in output. However, they're not as flexible as the Scangrip stuff, and we'll get onto that in a bit. So you've basically got two power settings. I'll turn it away so it's not completely blind you. Low and high, as we see there, and that's about it. That's what they do. These, I believe, are around £60. Like I say, they are the lumen outputs around 1400 lumens. Not quite sure on the colour temperature. I think they're about 4 to 5,000 K. But the CRI rating is really high. The colour rendering index rating is really, really high. They are very, very good for the money. Which got me thinking, how much better are the Scangrips compared to this? Well, in terms of one light output, no better. However, we get onto the Scangrip stuff, and you have all these options behind. So you have your on-off switch there. I'll try not to blind myself too much. Then you have the amount of working hours you have with the light there, and your battery percentage there is when you're charging. But one of the most useful features it has, apart from a two-stage selector switch to select the different powers, is you actually have 10%, 25%, see if you can see that. Try and do this without blinding myself again. 50%, 75%, and 100%. 100% is ridiculously bright. It's, yeah, really bright. Now, I would say if you've got a studio or you're working indoors, we find that 25% there is just right, because you're not straining your eyes to see the defects and they're nice and clear. So we keep it on 25% in here. One other thing that these lights do that other lights don't do, and I will have to switch it off to show you, is you'll notice two LEDs. One is a 4500K, the warm light, and then the cold light is 6500. Now this is very, very useful, and we've found this with lighter coloured cars, and we've been wanting a solution to this for quite some time now. We've found with the LEDs we have in situ, the 6000Ks here, with the lighter colours it's very, very difficult to spot defects. You need a lower Kelvin rated light. This has it. So you can switch between, I don't know whether you'll be able to see this too well, warm and cool. Warm, cool. So if we point it at the vehicle, I don't know, like I say, I don't know whether you'll be able to see this or not properly. Warm, cool. This makes a massive difference to the amount of defects. Obviously, we've actually been using the warm light on this. You can use the cool light, but I think you can see slightly more defects with the warmer light. On this particular colour anyway, on a black vehicle, then you'd want the ultra cool, the 6500K. Now, the other light we've bought is the Scangrip Multi-Match 2. Another great piece of kit. It's actually replaced now my little LED lenser torch. This was fantastic. Anyone that's used halogen and then moved over to one of these will find that you will see so many swirls, so many scratches, and it will also pick up light marring. The more powerful the light, the less light marring you see. So if you're correcting and using a halogen, for example, you go, wow, look at all those swirls and scratches. You get all the swirls and scratches out with your cutting stage, and then you get to your refining stage. You refine it down, you wipe it down with panel wipe, you think, wow, that's amazing. Then someone comes along with an LED light and looks at it and goes, yeah, you can see marring all over it that you couldn't see with a halogen. So you need those cool lights to spot the marring, the light stuff, the stuff where you'd wipe it down with a microfiber on a soft paint and create marring. That sort of stuff you don't necessarily see with a warm light, hence why 4500 and 6500K. This is another brilliant, so that's the cool, that's the cool, and that's the warm. Now that has got two power settings as well. That's the brightest, that's the dimmest. Still bloody bright, but we'll show you now if we can on the McCann. Just the sort of defects you can see. So that's with the warm light, and that's with the cool light. Now the camera doesn't pick this up very well at all, but if you're looking with your naked eye, you would be able to see the change in the defects to what you can see. Cool, warm. So like I say, the warm light works better with this particular colour, but it is very, very nice to have the choice. So we will be looking into if the bloody thing will switch off. There we go. We will be looking into putting fixed lighting in this unit now that are based on the Scangrip stuff. They won't be Scangrip because they're too expensive to put a lot of fixtures in, but we will be looking at the different bulbs, so we'll keep you updated with that. However, the point of this post is not to just educate you on lighting, but also Clean Your Car have just started stocking Scangrip stuff, and they are offering a discount that you can use using this vlog that we're recording now, and I believe it's Scan 10. We'll put it in the description. It will also be on Facebook. If you use Scan 10, you get 10% off the Scangrip stuff. Like I say, Clean Your Car have just started stocking it now. I don't yet think it's on the website, but it will be in the next day or two. All criticising aside, and I would say they are 100% worth it, because like I say, the sealer units are very, very good. A very good budget light if you're doing it as a weekend warrior. Brilliant. 60 quid and you're sorted, and you're not a million miles away from the Scangrip stuff. However, if you're a pro detailer, if you're wanting to push that a little bit harder, if you're preparing show vehicles, and you're wanting that extra 10% of visibility that you get with these type of lights, then they are worth the money. I think these are £187. then there's the discount on top of that, and I think the multi-match 2, which is this one, is, I think it's 275 off the top of my head. But like I say, well worth it. So get onto cleanyourcar.co.uk and have a look at them and get some bought. You won't regret it. They are fantastic. Bye for now, guys.